P was one of the best, man. Rest in peace, Sean P. Salute. Witness my life in a paragraph. I enjoy writing, but to tell you the truth, I can't stand math, except for statistics. Shout out to all the social misfits who are misunderstood, talented, and gifted. Me and my wife are nerds. To hate on us, that's absurd. Your mouth is filled with turd. Word. Crypto Wonder, aka willpower. You disrespect, get slapped from here to Okinawa. Word is power. You're not better than nobody. Your bathroom filled with golden showers. You cowards get devoured while I sit back smoking sour, and my mind gets elevated much higher than the Freedom Tower. I've been telling you the truth, and I find it so amusing. You could never disprove that I ain't a beast in the booth. And who's this? A purist? You're just a Judas, rocking people to sleep. You get hit with the only Hadouken.
Hadouken, Shoryuken, that's like Sheppuken. Hadouken, that's like Sheppuken.
What is going on, everyone? It's the Crypto Wonder, your host of the Crypto Wonder podcast. Let's get right into it. But as always, hope this episode finds you well. We're going to get straight to it. You already know we're one day closer to the next all-time high for Hex. One day closer to the bull market. One day closer to the Pulsechain mainnet launch. One day closer to Pulsex. One day closer to greatness. How about that? Top of the greatness. That's what we're doing. You know, understand that for real. Know that. More importantly than believe it, than only believing it, know it. The reason why I say this is because for many things, many reasons. But actually today, at the time of this recording, you know, it's been 1 year since the sacrifice took place for Pulsechain. 1 entire year came and went, folks. Whew. I'll tell you. It's been a long year, but also it kind of went by real quick. You know? But we're still here. We're still committed. We still have conviction. And we will continue to remain patient, balanced, and wait. Because we deserve it. All great things comes to those who wait, who are patient. We're waiting for the transference of wealth to occur from the impatient to us. Why? Because we're patient. We're adopting the philosophy, we're adopting the mechanics, we're adopting the ideas that have been put to work, put to use by the wisest, most successful investors of the world. We're adopting and enacting those philosophies and putting them to work as we speak, those of us who are in the community. The bear market is just nothing but opportunity. Many people think otherwise. I don't care what they think. Because it's not the first bear market that I've personally experienced. So I learned. And I know better. And I'm not going to espouse garbage to my viewers and my listeners because I value my audience. When I create content, and especially if it's surrounding crypto, it's about value. It's about information, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom. That'll take you far. I mean that you could apply for the rest of your days. 1 entire year passed since the first sacrifice day. That is huge. But more importantly, you know, I've been creating content regarding this And this is why I've said sometimes in the past, it's important that these efforts are multiplied, not just by me or other content creators in crypto and specifically in this ecosystem, but by folks who don't know, who are unaware. There are more people who don't know about this than those who do know. There are more people who do not know about anything involving Pulsechain than those who know. And it sometimes pains me when I think about that. That's why I have my bases covered when it comes to my loved ones. I couldn't just keep this information to myself, knowing that I have a family that surrounds me, that I'm blessed to have to be around, and I'm blessed to also be a part of. I'd be a fool. I'd be a bona fide Grinch if I kept that information to myself. You understand? And for those who don't listen, it doesn't matter. That's why I made the conscious effort to create content on social media regarding this, because this information is too good to be kept to myself. And again, all good things come to those who wait. You think you really deserve abundance to just fall on your lap right now? For what? What did you do to deserve it? Are you worthy? Really? What did you do? What work did you put in? What effort? What contributions did you make? So you're just waiting for magnificent gifts to fall out of the sky and land in your lap. That's how life works? No, it's not. It's not. Outside of crypto, when you have to find a way to make money, whether you work or own a business, most people worked and own businesses. Does the money that you earn fall from the sky? No, you had to work for it. Some form of inertia involved, energy involved, expending from you. Sacrifice was involved. Putting yourself second and everything else first. You had to work. On top of working to wait and be patient, because that requires some level of work too. What do I mean by that? You have to have discipline, conviction, be focused on what it is that you want. You want to exercise, you want to have a better physique. You want to look better, you want to feel better. It requires work. You can't just have a six-pack if you're a man, right? You can't be cut, chiseled, shredded up if you're morbidly obese without working at it. Like, it's not hard. You want to be the best in whatever it is that you desire to do. You need to work. Whatever aspect of life, think about it. You want to be a writer? Work at it. You want to be a teacher? You need to work at it. You want to be the best truck driver? You need to work at it. Racer, performer, entertainer, athlete, work at it. It requires work. So all this time, everybody talking about 10,000x, you know how, because that is the milestone that was reached in Hex. Hex reached 10,000x by way of price liquid in 623 days. Initially, it was promised 2.5 years. I thought that was a lie. I thought it was a scam. How in the world can anything this man, who I thought was a magician, could create a token that's going to reach 10,000x in price in 2.5 years? Easy. How about it happen in 623 days? So the joke was on me and everyone else who thought like me for whatever reason, however they thought that this thing was a scam. Now I had to update my worldview. I had to learn from my mistakes and put the work in. And I already had experience in the space. But I had to actually sit down and really put the work in and understand what this is and how it works. I took a step further and even allowed my children to be receptive to the information that I shared and imparted to them. My loved ones, period, took care of them too. Because I'm not the only one that's going to overcome struggle by myself. No, we all are. Because we're putting in the work and we deserve it. Richard Hart was in a Twitter space this week, educating the community. 2,700 people were there, maybe above 3,000 at one point. People were listening in the spaces to him talking to people who like NFTs and Bitcoin. At one point, someone asked him, what was he talking about as far as, they said, Richard, what are you talking about an Ethereum copy? Like, what are you talking about? And Richard told him, Pulsechain. And the guy was like, you really seriously trying to copy Ethereum? And Richard had to tell him, well, you mean to tell me this is how smart you are? We've been working on this for over a year now, and you just finding out about this? Someone who's pro Bitcoin, someone who's pro NFT, someone who's pro Ethereum, all these people that will listen, not all, but the majority of people that will listen had no idea that Richard was creating Pulsechain. So with all of the followers that he has, with the community of Hex and Pulsechain, vlogging every day, on Twitter every day, on Telegram every day, all over social media every day, you still have an enormous amount of people who are unaware of Pulsechain, who are unaware of what is happening in this ecosystem, in this side of the pond. Because crypto, many people, not only do they not know, they don't care about crypto. The majority of the world really doesn't care about crypto right now because they don't understand the value proposition that the product affords them. They don't understand the value. They don't understand how this is helpful. This is why wasting time infighting is completely destructive. It hurts you. It adds no value to anyone's pockets or wallets. All it does is tear down, it divides, it's conquer, it's destructive. It destroys everything. That people are working so hard, then being patiently waiting for greatness to come. While folks in the community are devouring themselves like crabs in a barrel because you have nothing better to do but to just be civil, be balanced, be calm, and be patient. Because many people don't know. They have no clue what's about to happen here. When Pulsechain, and I'm telling you, when Pulsechain launches, I don't care if it's, see, for me, it's not about price activity in the beginning, because I know it's going to be volatile. I get it. I understand all that. But you're talking about a layer one that's forking the number one, the first blockchain that introduced smart contracts in the world. Ethereum, the number one blockchain that introduced smart contracts. Is being copied onto Pulse. Richard was explaining to the people on testnet, listen, you can go, there's a test, I'm sorry, Richard was explaining to the people in the Twitter spaces, telling them, listen, you guys, you supposed to be smart. You supposed to be all intelligent, all knowing, all, so smart, but you know nothing about what's going on with crypto. That shows you how much you really know. You know nothing about the fact that Pulsechain testnet is up. All the copies of ERC20 tokens that any holder had in that stream could have went on Pulsechain testnet and found it and did whatever and test it out and play around on testnet. They were quiet. One of them had to get off. He said, before I say anything, I have to read up about it, to give an intelligent response. Yeah, fool, clown, but it's not just to get on them, right? Because I'm not trying to really defecate on the maxis, on the Bitcoin maxis like that right now. My thing is beyond them. I don't care about them. And you know what I'm saying? I don't care about Ethereum maxi. I don't care about any maxi that's just like looking and completely selfish and narrow-minded. I'm not caring about them. I'm caring about people in my community. Who need to know about this. And that's why on my own time, I do what I do on my own time to talk to people about what's going on in crypto, and specifically with these products right here. Because there's been nothing in the last 3 years that I could say off the top of my head offer 10,000 X gains in 623 days. Double that if you were staking. That's crazy. In a pandemic. In a previous bear market, because Hex was launched in a bear market. You really think this is not going to come out? You think Pulsechain is not going to come out? You have doubts. That's natural. It's natural to have doubts. At the same time, though, you also have to know the power of your mind. You have to know that your mind is a very powerful tool. If you believe in something, after a while it becomes your truth. You lend it energy, it becomes visceral. So if you want to hold on to negative thoughts, worrisome thinking, concerned trolling, and think otherwise, it's not only that your hopes may be that much harder to materialize in your favor, you'll see the effects of your worrisome thinking and thought patterns reflected into your normal everyday life. True to form. The reason why you could see how successful some people are in life is because they don't make excuses. They grab the bull by its horn and take charge and direct that motherfucker to make it do what it's supposed to do for them. You grab that bull and you make that bull work for you. You don't just stand in the bull's way and wait to be punctured by its horns. At some point you have to, what effort are you making Are you allowing for yourself to be receptive to all things good? When do you make the decision to say, you know what, I deserve this, right? I deserve everything good that's coming to me when I'm talking about uprooting myself from financial hardship, uprooting myself and those who I love from economic dread. When do you decide enough is enough? When you stop blocking your own blessings, maybe you'll see something that's worth seeing. Maybe things will change. When you change your attitude and you see that, listen, you have this information among billions of people. Why you? Why should you have that information? How are you going to use it? Right? You want all this power because make no mistake about it. People are trying to make a lot of money. In turn, will become powerful in their own right. You want all this power. Are you worthy? How will you yield your power? What is it that you're going to do with this power? Nothing? You don't deserve it then. You're going to complain? You don't deserve it then. You're going to worry? You don't deserve it then. Everything worth having is worth fighting for. Because if you may look at somebody else and think they received a boatload of blessings and they didn't have to work for it, well, guess what? There are other areas of their life that you may not know of where they struggle immensely. It's all about the natural balance, baby. The natural order and harmonic way of things. That's what it's about. You know? The in between, the immediate bumps in the road and stuff, that's just what they are. Bumps in the road. Little potholes. But when you get to that goal, that finish line, and you exhale, and you feel so accomplished, you're going to see that everything that led up to that bump in the road, everything that led up to you reaching your end result and desire was all worth it. That's why a lot of times when you think, well, if you had to do this over, would you? You would say yes. A whole year just came and went. So you can't say you don't know what delayed gratification is if you're in Pulsechain. But there's some people that are oblivious. They know nothing. They don't have a clue what's going on. Is ignorance blissful for them? Maybe. Maybe. Because I tell you what, for a lot of y'all, not me, I know what I'm working towards, but it's not what I'm about to say. For a lot of y'all, you want this power, right? Great power comes great responsibility. That's the thing. A lot of y'all, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to be ready for it. And the thing about this is why, like, the whole decentralization with crypto, it's just like there's just an element of unfairness to it. It's what it is, man. It really is what it is. A lot of people that's going to come into a massive windfall won't really deserve it. Won't. But, you know, life sucks that way. It's just what it is, right? You got to worry about what you got going on. And push humanity forward by just contributing some type of kind act or set of actions to someone else to help add to the wellness and betterness of their lives, make the world that much more pleasing, if you will, because things are rough. I never forget how rough things are. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what I'm doing. I could be doing something, whatever. But I know there are many people who'll never be able to experience something that I'm doing, Patiently waiting for great things to come is worth it. But you have to know that you deserve it in truth. How bad do you want it? How bad? How bad? Because hindsight, they say, is 20/20. You always say, I'm not saying you, I'm just speaking. If you would have had a chance to do X, Y, and Z, you would have, right? Well, now you're living it. Now you're living it. So you don't have to have the moment where you reach a point in your life again to repeat and say, oh, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. You have one shot right now to do what it is that you're doing. If you sacrifice, that's what you're doing, because even the waiting is a form of sacrifice. True to form. If you didn't sacrifice, share the good message with somebody else. This is not evangelical talk. This is just putting people on to real game. Real game. Real game. Because I just had a conversation with somebody recently and they told me they got burned by Celsius. I didn't even know they were in crypto, and I would not have known unless I was engaging and doing the work, whatever that meant to me. But I struck a conversation with somebody and they told me they got burned with Celsius. And they lost everything. And it reminded me of BitConnect. They lost everything. It reminded me of how hurtful and the pain people experience in BitConnect. Straight up. I try to share, some information to just give them some kind of hope, some kind of reprieve. Right? But I know they're in so much pain. They're not really at the stage right now to listen to other opportunities, right? When you lose so much of everything and they feel like they lost everything, and for you to give something else, like, listen, expend some energy that you don't have elsewhere, it's difficult for people, right? To say, hey, look at Pulsechain, look at Hex, look at these, they're at zero because Celsius burned them. Zero. So the fight continues. The struggle continues. This is all a struggle. It continues. It continues. You got people who know it all who don't even know that Pulsechain is coming out. And this has been, out of all the campaigning that's being done, is still not enough. Richard Hart has been on mainstream television. Still not enough. How many interviews he's had? Still not enough. They're doing a documentary. Still not enough. You got how many hundreds of streamers talking about Hex Post? Still not enough. The fight continues, people. Make no mistake about it. The struggle continues. I'm out. One.